Ever wish you could just get a do-over, for some of life's biggest decisions? Well, what if I told you there's a game that actually lets you do that? Today we're going to look at a simulation that's literally designed to be a rehearsal for life. It's a place where you can practice your choices about money, about happiness, all without the real-world risk. So let's dive in and see how this thing works.
This quote from the game's creator, a guy they call Brother Jew, just hits so hard, right? It points to this massive gap in our education. Think about it. We're taught how to earn money, for sure, but who really teaches us how to manage it, how to grow it, or even just how to think about our relationship with it? And as we're about to find out, that one little gap can lead to some absolutely devastating consequences. Yeah, this game wasn't cooked up in some shiny corporate boardroom. Nope. Its origin is way more personal. It was actually sparked by a tragedy, a heartbreaking story that its creator felt he just had to stop from ever happening again.
So what we're talking about here is a physical board game. The creators call it a sand table. And it wasn't designed just to be fun, not at all. It was born from this incredibly powerful sense of mission, a direct response to a real-world event that showed just how high the stakes are when it comes to financial illiteracy.
So here's the story. The creator, Brother Jew, was traveling when he saw this awful news report. It was about a student who got caught in what's called a nude loan trap, basically a predatory loan where they use compromising photos as collateral. And tragically, she ended up taking her own life. It just hit him. He realized the root problem wasn't that she wasn't trying hard enough, it was that she had no financial education. And right then and there, he made a vow. He was going to create a safe space, a game where anyone could rehearse life, make those kinds of terrible mistakes, and learn the lessons without having to pay that impossible real-world price.
And that right there tells you everything you need to know. This game isn't about winning or losing like in Monopoly. Not even close. It's about rehearsing your life script. It's basically a tool to let you see your own habits, your own beliefs, and how you really react when you're up against life's biggest challenges. This is a great way to see the difference. A typical board game, right? It's all about outside stuff. Points, properties, beating the other guy. But this is a life rehearsal. It flips the whole thing around and turns the focus inward. The real goal isn't what you collect on the board. It's the awareness you build up in your own head.
You'll hear this phrase a lot with this game, a journey of life awakening. And what that really means is that the win isn't just getting rich. The real victory is waking up to who you are, seeing your patterns, your fears, and your potential. It's about moving from being a passenger to being the conscious creator of your own life.
And this is the absolute core philosophy. Make mistakes on the board, bring wisdom back to reality. Think about that. Go bankrupt in the game? Awesome. Make a terrible investment? Perfect. Every single mistake is just a lesson you learn without any real risk. The prize isn't winning the game. It's the wisdom you can take with you and use in your actual life.
Okay, so let's talk about the game board itself, because it's set up as this brilliant metaphor for life. It's actually split into 3 distinct layers, and each one represents a different phase we all tend to move through, both financially and personally.
So, everybody starts in layer 1. It's called the stratosphere. This is basically the normal path, the one most of us are told to follow. Go to school, get a good stable job, start a family, that whole cycle. It's life on autopilot. And while it feels safe and predictable, it's also the easiest place to just get stuck.
Next up is layer 2, the counterflow. Now this is where crisis lives. Think unemployment, sudden debt, a major life setback. But here's the crazy part. In this game, landing here isn't a penalty. It's a catalyst. Its whole purpose is to be a wake-up call, to shake you out of that autopilot mode and force you to get real about the choices you're making.
And finally, we get to layer 3. This is the goal. It's called the downflow. This represents that state we're all kind of looking for, right? That feeling of wealth and joy, where your outer world of success and abundance is in perfect sync with your inner world of peace. It's about simulating that feeling of alignment, where life stops being a constant struggle and just starts to flow.
And get this, the password to get into this final layer, it says everything. It's making money is as simple as breathing. Can you just imagine that? Getting to a place where making money feels that natural, that effortless? That is the mindset shift the game is trying to create. moving you out of struggle and into flow.
So, okay, you've got this amazing board that mirrors life. But a map isn't much good without a guide, right? And that's where the coach comes in. Their job is so much bigger than just making sure you follow the rules.
But that begs the question, doesn't it? Who gets to guide you on a journey this personal? What makes someone qualified? Well, it turns out the creators have a really specific, really interesting framework for this. They call it the 3 powers model. First, there's heart power. This means the coach has to have their own inner stability, their own deep sense of mission. It has to come from the heart. From there, they build coaching power, which is the actual skill of guiding people to their own aha moments. And finally, there's commercial power, which is just about being able to make this whole thing sustainable so they can reach and help more and more people.
And this is maybe one of the most important parts of their training, the difference between sympathy and empathy. See, sympathy is looking down into a pit someone's in and saying, "Oh man, that sucks for you." But empathy is climbing down into the pit with them and saying, "I'm here, I get it." They're trained to connect, not to judge. And that's what creates the kind of safety you need to have a real breakthrough.
Okay, so with all this talk about awareness and inner work, you might be thinking, all right, but how do you actually win the game? It's a fair question. And the answer is pretty cool, because it offers a way bigger, more holistic definition of what success even means.
First things first, to become a life winner, you got to be totally debt-free. No bank loans. After that, you get to pick your own victory lap. You can win as the dreamer by actually achieving a personal dream you set for yourself at the start. You can win as the philanthropist by donating over $10 million to charity. Or you can win as the wealth creator, earning over $100 million. The whole point is, success isn't one size fits all. You decide what winning looks like for you.
And this final quote just wraps it all up so perfectly. The more you simulate, the richer you become. The deeper your awareness, the freer you become. The richness they're talking about isn't just about money. It's about a richness of experience. And the freedom isn't just financial freedom. It's the freedom that only comes from really, truly understanding yourself.
Which brings us right back to the name of the game itself, wealth and joy. See, it's not wealth or joy, it's both. The whole philosophy is built on the idea that you can and should have both outer abundance and inner fulfillment.
When you get right down to it, this game is really just a mirror. It shows you your beliefs, your habits, how you act when the pressure's on. So the real question isn't about the game at all, it's about you. If you sat down to play, what do you think that mirror would show you?